We'll go through 8 conditional statements and gain some practice diagramming them. I want you to pause the video and try each one on your own before seeing the solution. The first one is an if statement. The word if introduces the sufficient condition. So in this case, the witness is telling the truth is the sufficient, and what comes after the comma is the necessary. You can diagram this as T, arrow, A. And it's important to keep track of what your variables mean. The T represents 6 words. The witness is telling the truth. The A represents 5 words. The defendant has an alibi. The contrapositive, reverse and negate, not A, arrow, not T. The second one is an only if statement. Only if introduces the necessary condition. So what comes after it here is the necessary condition. What comes before it is the sufficient. The sentence could also be inverted. It could have been only if necessary condition, comma, sufficient condition. But either way, what comes after the only if is the necessary. Okay, so how do we diagram this one? A contract is legally binding only if both parties have signed it. The contrapositive, not S, arrow, not B. The third one is an unless statement. To diagram unless, you have to negate the sufficient condition, and it doesn't matter which one you decide to make sufficient. The bill will pass unless the senator filibusters. So we can make the bill will pass sufficient, and we have to negate it. Arrow, F. The necessary is stated as is. We don't negate the necessary. The contrapositive would be not F, arrow, P. The third one uses the conditional indicator whenever. Whenever functions the exact same as if, meaning it introduces the sufficient condition. Whenever the interest rates rise, I, arrow, the housing market slows down, H. And the contrapositive, not H, arrow, not I. This one uses the conditional indicator no. This conditional indicator tells you to negate the necessary condition. And it also introduces the sufficient. No mammals in this exhibit are cold-blooded. So mammals in this exhibit would be sufficient. Cold-blooded would be necessary, and it needs to be negated. So it would be E. E stands for mammals in this exhibit. Arrow, not C. And then the contrapositive, C, arrow, not E. This one uses the conditional indicator requires, which introduces the necessary condition, similar to only if, which we did a few slides ago. Okay. So achieving a 170 plus score requires disciplined practice. A stands for achieving a 170 plus score. Arrow, D for disciplined practice. The contrapositive, no D, arrow, no A. This one uses the conditional indicator only. The word only introduces the necessary condition. So in this case, this is the necessary condition here. Only professional athletes are eligible for the sponsorship. So if you're eligible for the sponsorship, then you are a professional athlete. And the contrapositive, if you're not a professional athlete, then you're not eligible for the sponsorship. In this one, the conditional indicator is the only, which is different from only. the only introduces the sufficient condition. The only way to reach the island is by ferry. So this is the sufficient condition, and this is the necessary condition. So if you reach the island, then you took a ferry. If you didn't take a ferry, then you cannot reach the island.